This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
All right. Did you guys do a sound check? How's everybody doing today? Good. Sorry to keep you late on a Friday afternoon, but we have important things to talk about today, and I appreciate everybody being here. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into my comments, and I think the orchestration of the event will, at the conclusion of my comments, we'll make a pass outside, and I'll take a couple questions. Are you prepared for that? Okay, good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today to speak about the Safer and Supportive Schools Act, our legislation that addresses school violence, an issue that is top of mind for so many Nevada families, teachers, and students. And I'm joined here today with educators who have been directly impacted by school violence. I'm also here today with Sade, a former teacher who was violently attacked and assaulted in her El Dorado High School classroom last April. She has shown tremendous strength and bravery in being here today, and thank you for being here today, Sade. Thank you. You can say thank you. Over the last 2 years, we have seen countless instances of school violence across Nevada. Sade and these teachers can attest to the impact school violence has had on their classrooms and in their school communities. The prevalence of school violence in Nevada is shocking and demands we take action. I shared several school violence statistics with the legislature yesterday, but I want to share them with you here today. Last year, there was over 6,800 violent incidents reported at CCSD schools within a 7-month period from August of 21 to February of 22. There are 350 schools in Las Vegas, and 320 of those schools reported at least one violent incident last year. That means that over 90% of the schools within CCSD have reported a violent incident in the last year alone. Since 2019, there has been a 46% increase in violence and sexual assaults reported within Clark County School District, but the increase in school violence is not just limited to Clark County. In Washoe County, there have been over 7,400 violent incidents reported within the Washoe County School District in the 22-23 school year. By looking at the data, we know that the increase in school violence is not an isolated issue. It's a statewide issue. We know that tens of thousands of students, families, and teachers have been affected. Even right here at Valley High School, we know that students and teachers have been impacted by school violence. Let me be clear. We don't need any more victims of school violence. What we need is serious reform and legislative action. You can answer it. You're fine. My office submitted AB 330, the Safer and Supportive Schools Act, yesterday. Our bill was heard by the Assembly Committee on Education, and I testified on the bill alongside 2 Washoe County principals. The Safer and Supportive Schools Act has the support of all 17 superintendents in Nevada. Thank you. The Clark County Association of School Administrators, the Charter School Association of Nevada, and the Clark County Education Association, CCEA members and educators are here with me today. Thank you. The heart of AB 330 is focused on 3 main objectives. First, giving teachers the ability to control their own classroom and do their jobs. Second, giving parents peace of mind that their children are safe at school. And third, giving students the safe and supportive environment that's needed to learn. We believe there should be zero tolerance for school violence. AB 330 institutes serious reforms to empower teachers and schools to discipline students effectively. While AB 330 delivers serious reforms, there's also significant accountability measures built into the legislation. Every child should be given the opportunity to stay in school, but violent students will not be tolerated. To ensure that this legislation is executed properly, suspensions and expulsions will be monitored, and teachers who are excessively removing students from the classroom will be identified. I think it's important, I take a pause there when I say identified. That is nothing more to ensure that they are doing the right thing. It's not a case of excessive expulsions. It's a case of monitoring and ensure there isn't excessive expulsions. And I know there's a concern with that piece on there. And there will be significant accountability and oversight provided as part of that step. The Safer and Supportive Schools Act also increases accountability by allowing intervention by the state superintendent where necessary. Every child should be given the opportunity to stay in school, and the accountability measures in this bill will help do just that. In closing, I will say this. Across the state, and right here at Valley High School, our schools are filled with talented teachers. You agree with that?
Yes.
I agree with that.
I agree.
You agree with that?
Very much so.
Across the state and right here at Valley, talented teachers, dedicated administrators, and wonderful students who are eager to learn. We owe it to our teachers, to our students, and to our administrators to deliver impactful change through AB 330. My office has drafted the legislation. We have presented it to the legislature, and we are fighting to get AB 330 to my desk so that we can bring safety and security back to our schools. We are fighting for zero tolerance for school violence. Sade was not the first victim of a heinous and horrific school violence, but we are fighting to make her one of the last. I'm here today to speak directly to the educators, parents, and students who have been directly impacted by school violence in Nevada. It's time to get involved in the legislative process and make your voice heard. Reach out to your representatives, urge them to take action, and support AB 330. Let me repeat that. It's time to get involved in the legislative process and make your voice be heard. Reach out to your representatives, urge them to take action, and support AB 330. That's the entire process. That's the legislative process for you to have a voice and for you to speak directly to your representatives. Please help me in this endeavor so that we don't have to stand here a year from now and repeat that message. It's important that we affect change. If we work together, I'm confident we can bring school safety back to our state. Our children deserve safe schools, our teachers deserve safe workplaces, and our entire state deserves better. Thank you for your time. Thank you. For those you may not know, I'm going to embarrass him. This is Sade's fiance. You're probably saying, who was that guy? Right? So I want to once again say thank you to everybody. And did we provide context with dads in school?
No.
Troy, where you at? You want to come forward and say a couple words?
Sure, absolutely.
Let's take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you all, Principal Kim Perry Carter, and all of Dads in School volunteers. Dads in Schools was stood up last year officially for the full year, where men sign up, they take a background check, they get trained, and they're placed at a school where they partner with that principal at the time most important. It's a prevention through presence model, so they're not law enforcement, they're not school police. And we've actually seen some victories right here at Valley where things were averted. And I have with me today Eric Culverson that's over at Del Webb. And during the lunch hour last year, there was fights in that cafeteria, and the principal reported to me that they've had 0 fights in the cafeteria all year long. So You can go to dadsinschools.com, sign up for your own shift, your own neighborhood, and help us protect. I heard our superintendent, Jara, talk about many of the problems come from the community into the schools. I agree with that. I've seen it firsthand. But also the solution to help the schools can come from the community when we go in and serve these principals, teachers, make this staff feel safer, and especially these young children feel safe so they can learn. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Troy. I appreciate that. And just to reiterate, he's exactly right when it starts in the community. But it's important for us, especially somebody at my administrative level, and the ability to have influence in the process to act. And we all know this was part of my platform when I decided to run for governor. And it's important for me to move forward and make it not just a speaking point, but to provide action associated with it. And with it, I feel comfortable that we're going to affect effective change. And I want to thank each and every one of you teachers out here in the audience who had the influence on me that brought me here today. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.